my first time. Okay, so I don't. Did we talk about my shoplifting and shit like that? No, I don't think so.
We're talking about shoplifting.
We haven't talked.
Or is that how you met her?
No, but like, so I used to steal all these magazines and shit, like rocker magazines, like Metal Edge, and fuck, I forgot what the other one was. Um, like music magazines, like with all the rock stars and shit. Like there was Metal Edge and there was Hit Parader. So I would fucking steal all these magazines and shit, like, and read about it. And like I remember one of these magazines, it asked a question about it like asked all the rock stars like when they lost their virginity and shit, right? And I remember that a lot of my I think like a lot of the people like because I was like really heavy into like Poison and Motley Crue, Ozzy, and shit like that. Like that was my like that my that's how old I am. Like those guys were like they were like my idols and shit, dude. And a lot of the rockers said that they like like they were like 13 and shit. Like I think like Bret Michaels, I think the guys in Poison, like a lot of them said like 13, and like the consensus was like around 13 and shit. And I was like, I was 13.
Yeah, a lot of my friends are 13, between 13 and 14 when they first did.
So I'm like reading this and I'm like, damn, like I need to get laid before I turn 14. Like to keep up with all my heroes, my rock star heroes and shit. So cool. I'm like, I can't, I have to lose it before 14 and shit, right? And so, so I remember, I think I was like, I went to my mom's for like the holidays or something, and like I met this girl that I eventually ended up going to school with her, and like, but she was the closest neighbor to me down the street, and we're the same age and stuff, and like, so I'm basically like telling this girl like, hey, I really want to hook up with you and stuff, you know, like I'm gonna be back here for the holidays or whatever, and we should hook up and shit, you know? So we're like little kids and we like had it all plotted out. And it's the same thing with me too. Like, I'll wait till everybody go to sleep and I'll sneak out. I had a room in the basement. And so, I'll wait till everybody go to sleep and I'll sneak out to go meet this girl and stuff. And then, so we finally like set up like, okay, we're gonna, tonight's the night and shit. Tonight's like we like set it up, you know, and it was like, so I snuck out and I went to her house and I went and got her. She's like probably like a quarter mile down the street or some shit. Went and got her, came back to my house, snuck her in.
Snuck her into your house?
Snuck her into the house. Cause I'm in the basement. There, I was getting out through this little tiny window in the basement and shit. Like, and,
the skinny ass little windows that are.
And so like, and I remember at the time, I didn't even. So like sometimes my cousins and shit would come over and stuff, and so we had like these mattress like cots and shit, like, you know, for like when my cousins and shit would come over and shit, we had extra like cot beds and shit. And so I remember so dude, it's like so embarrassing. Dude, we're talking about like little kid fucking teenager shit. Like we were barely just turned teenagers. And so it's like super awkward and weird, bro. Like embarrassing, like getting naked in front of a girl when you never did that before and shit like that. I mean, you know what I mean? Think about it, dude. You're like 16. That's why I was asking you if it was weird, because like now think about like I'm just like 13 or whatever, and so it's like, and then I remember like uh, I was trying to put on the rubber, and like because when I'm with her, I'm like rock hard, but I was embarrassed, so I'm like just hang on 1 second, and I would like run to the corner, and I was trying to put it on, but my dick went soft like when I wasn't by her. When I'm by her, my dick's like fucking rage on and shit. But I was embarrassed, so I'm like, just give me a minute and I'll be right back. And then I would go over to the corner and try to put it on. My dick would go, I couldn't get, so then I'd go back over by her, and then like I'm running back and forth to the corner like a fucking idiot. Like my dick's going up and down and up and down. Fucking like I don't know what the fuck's going on. Like I'm like dying from embarrassment, and so I finally get back over, and I'm just like, okay, this is not gonna work. Like, so I'm like, I need to be by you, and then okay, so we do it, whatever. So we do it, and then so then I had to sneak her out and take her back home, and then come back home and sneak back in again. So like I did this whole, obviously in one night. Nobody wake up, fucking whatever. And so the next morning, shit, like I go upstairs and my mom's like making breakfast and stuff. And dude, I don't know, but I'm feeling like on top of the fucking world right now, bro. Like, and like at this time, like
you could tell this guy just got laid,
bro. She knew, man. She knew. Like, and at this time, like I'm already like I'm like smoking weed with my mom and shit like that. So like we're tuned in. We're like
okay.
She's she's my best friend. We're good. We're cool and everything, And so something, and then my mom's like, she's like, what's going on with you? I'm like, what? She's like, what's up? I'm like, nothing.
Why are you
like,
so happy?
Yeah, I know. She's like, shut up. Like, what the fuck is going on, right? And I'm like, I'm just beaming, bro. I'm just like, I probably didn't even get any sleep because I was like, dude, like this chick is like halfway down. You know what I mean? Like, I probably barely even slept because like that's a whole, like the window from like 2 to 8 or some shit, and I'm like have to go out there, come back, get her back home, come back, fucking make sure everything's like set up that people don't know I'm leaving and shit or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, and she's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, and I don't know. I feel like I just like was so excited and I had to brag about it like right away. And I was like, well, let's just say that you don't have to worry about that your son's not going to die a virgin. And she was like, what? Like, what the fuck?
You said that?
Yeah, I said that. Like, I'm like being like, ooh, like, well, at least you know
you're man.
Yeah, like at least you know your son's not gonna die a virgin. And she's like, what? Like she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, and she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like,
fuck yeah.
She was like, she didn't believe me. She was like, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? She was like, oh hell no. I was like, shut up. And I'm like, then I'm like, because she doubted me, I'm like, no, I'm for real. Like, I'm being serious. She's like, no way. Shut the fuck up. Like, and she's like, for real? And I'm like, yep. Like, I'm all proud and shit. And she's like, wait a second. Like, when the fuck did that happen? And I'm like, last night. She's like, what? Like, wait a second. Like, you were here last night. And I'm like, yeah. Like, she's like, how the fuck? And I'm like, that chick down the street? Like, I'm like, I snuck her in here last night. She's like, wait a second. Like, you fucking snuck out and snuck some chick in, and you came back, and she's like, you little shit. She was like, I didn't hear nothing. Are you fucking like you fucking snuck out last night, you little fucker? Like, I didn't hear nothing. And I'm like, obviously I'm thinking, yeah, I gotta like I did a good job then if nobody heard me, like, you know, hella quiet, like fucking sneaking, all being a sneaky little kid and shit, you know? But yeah, she didn't fucking believe me at first, man. She's like, yeah, shut the fuck up. I'm like, no, for real. She's like,
I would have never gotten away with that.
She was like, are you fucking serious? I'm like, yeah. She was like, you little shit. Like, God damn it. Like, I didn't hear, like, you little, she was basically like, you sneaky little fucker. Like, I didn't hear nothing. Like, what the fuck, you know? Yeah, dude. And then she was like, well, like, now she's like, damn, dude. Like, my little baby boy is like a fucking banging the fucking neighbor kids and just fucking like
I would have been grounded for life.
Nah, she wasn't. She probably wasn't really happy about it, but it was already done with like, what's she gonna do? Ground me about it? Like, there's nothing that. Yeah, and I don't know either. And so like, yeah, and then she was like, well, was there blood? And I'm like, what? I'm like, I didn't even think about no shit like that. I don't know. I'm just like a little kid. I don't know what the fuck is going on. And she's like, that wasn't her first. If there's no blood, that wasn't her first time. And I'm like, what? Like, I didn't understand any of that. I'm like, what? Blood? Ew. Like, I don't know. Like, you know, I don't know what's going on. And so that was like this big secret. And then I ended up fucking going to school, and I was tight-lipped about it. Like, I didn't want this shit going around. This girl was the one that fucking said something. So I got fucking people coming up to me like, oh, you like got with her and shit. And I denied it like a fucking douchebag because I was embarrassed about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, she like kind of fucking threw me under the bus, but I fucking denied it. I'm like, nah, I would never touch her and shit. Like, like, you know what I mean? Like, so that kind of put some distance between us for some years. Huh. Like, yeah, it was weird, awkward, teenage fucking weirdo kid shit.
So there's blood when you get it with a virgin? Is that what you're saying?
That's why they call it pop your cherry and shit.
I never looked into it that deep.
I don't know. It freaked me out because I was like, I don't know what the fuck. And she's like, is there fucking blood all over my basement and shit? I was like, what? I'm like, no. I'm like, she's like, let me see. Oh, then it wasn't. She's like, show me where it happened. What did you do? You know?
It was right
here.
It was
probably like a little jizz stain like on the fucking mattress or some shit, you know?
It pulled out.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It was probably like weird and awkward and fucking like super weird and you don't know what you're doing and it was just fucking, I just remember being super awkward and I was like proud of myself that it happened. But I didn't want to like talk about it, and this chick like started telling people at school about it, and then I feel like an asshole because I completely denied it and said she was lying and she's gross and I would never do anything like that and all this
cooties.
Yeah, right. Like I'm like, nah, hell no, I wouldn't fuck that bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that sucks, man. Like, I feel bad because I probably gave her a complex. You know what I mean? Like that I wouldn't cop to it and like denying it to everybody. So I hope that, I don't know. Last thing I heard, she's got her little family and she's cool. Like got some kids and shit. But yeah, that was her first time. She probably's not so stoked about it either. You know what I mean? Like, I totally dogged her out after that. You know, like fucking. You know, I thought we were supposed to keep it between us, but. Yeah, man. Fucking little kid shit, man.
Thank you for the first time.
Wait till marriage.
The first time.
Wait till marriage for sure. I mean, I remember this chick before that too. Like, and I must have been younger as that. I was probably like fucking like 10 or something. And there's this girl. She was a couple years older than me, and she like just started getting her period and stuff like that or whatever. And I remember this fucking girl, man. She was just like on me, dude. Like, she's like, she was like jump on top of me and like basically like molesting me and shit. Like, and she's like, oh, I'm cramping so bad and shit. It hurts, fucking, and all this shit.
Ovulating.
And I'm like, I'm like, dude, I'm a little ass kid. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Put a baby inside me.
I know. She's like, I'm cramping so bad. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck. I'm like, are you hurt? Like, what do you need? Like, can I help? Like, I don't understand anything about like girl problems and shit. Like,
Neither do I.
I know. And so like, she's all like, but she was like, get on top of me and just like start humping my leg and fucking like basically pin me down and shit and like fucking just like, and I'm just like, I have no idea what's going on. And then at the same time, she's like crying and says she hurts. And I'm like trying to like, what can I do? Like, do you need an ice pack or something? Like, I don't know what the fuck to do about it. You know, like, I'm just like a little ass kid. And she was like, came out super strong on me. Like, I guess, you know, that was like probably like my first time like making out with a girl, because this chick was like super aggressive on me. Like, I don't know, her hormones, like it's all new to her too or something, or she was like her hormones are out of control, and maybe she had porn like laying around her house or something. I don't know. We lived in a trailer park, so I don't know what the fuck weird shit was going on at her house, but that chick she would find me and corner me and like jump on top of me and like have her way with me and shit.
I want your dick.
I know, and I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. Like, this is before like my puberty status, so like I don't even know how like anything works at all at this point. Like, I'm not even getting a boner at this point. So like I don't know what's going on. I just know this chick is like just mauling me, and at like every time she was like the bully on the block, bro. Like, I'd be scared. I see her coming and she's like fucking, she would like corner me and jump on me and like kiss me all over. She wanted me to kiss her and fucking lick her neck and fucking, and like I just like I didn't know what the fuck is going on, dude. Like, at all. So that's what I mean. So like, yeah. Anything else you want to add to this? That was a lot.
Wow. Yeah, I never had anybody do that to me.
Dude, I was just little too, man. She was old enough. She was older than me, so like, I'm the victim here.
She knew what she was doing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, she was still a kid too, but like, she was definitely the older one that like took advantage of my littleness. Like, sex wasn't on my radar at that point, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically the same thing that happened to me. I was just a little bit older with the chick I was dating, and yeah, she took advantage of me a little bit.
Like, coming on heavy and shit. Like, god damn, yo.
Not heavy like that, but yeah, she definitely wasn't her first time, and she's hungry for more.
Yo. What, the girl the girl you were talking about?
The one that stole my virginity.
Yeah. Oh, and so you thought it was her first time too, and then how did you find out it wasn't? Like, cause you're like, one of the homies was like, "Oh man, that's old news" or something.
No, not even like that. No, she confessed.
She was like,
after,
just so you know, I've had all the dicks. Like, no, I'm just kidding.
It might as well have been. But no, like, so after, like, you know, I was 100% in love with her. I'm gonna marry you and do all this. So that was like, you know, we're fucking. So like, you know,
that was you. You were like, we need to get married now?
I never said that, but that's how I was getting
In your head,
I was
you're like,
oh,
this
yeah,
is the one.
This is it. This is the one. Yeah.
Like, she deflowered me, and I want to be with her for the rest of my life.
Yeah. So we were screwing around for about a month, and then her parents went out of town. It's like, oh yeah, my parents they got this nice big ass freaking like hot tub bathtub type thing. So we took a bath together, fucked around in the bathtub. You know how that goes, and then dried each other off. And then we got into the parents' bedroom, started fucking around there, and then she starts fucking crying.
Oh.
In the middle of it. In the middle of it
No.
all.
Fuck.
I was almost there.
That's the worst, man. It's the fucking absolute worst.
She just starts bawling her eyes out.
No.
Off off my dick.
Like,
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like, I was just about there.
I thought we're having the greatest time ever. Like,
Hell yeah.
This is literally the greatest time I've ever had.
It's always the greatest time when you're like knee deep in that shit.
Yeah. So she starts crying in the middle of it.
You're like, oh, like, I need to tell you something.
Like, what's wrong? Did
like,
I hurt you?
Oh, that's always the worst. I need to tell you something. Like, oh, God.
Well, I know that now, but
like,
I didn't know that then.
Yeah, I know. Like, fuck. Oh, God. Just fucking get it. Just fucking say it.
It is. This is not my first time doing this. Like, what do you mean? And apparently, like, she fucked another dude on her parents' bed.
But did you know the dude though?
No, I don't know.
Okay, so that makes it a lot like way better. Because if she's like, I gotta tell you, like, I fucked your homeboy or some shit, then it would have devastated you forever.
No.
Like complex shit, like that. You would never be able to trust a girl again. I mean, if that wasn't enough, like if she was like, yeah, the homeboy or like one of your brothers or some shit, like, just so you know, like. Be like, like what? I was really in love. Like you really showed me love for the first time in my life.
It was sex, and so I thought I was in love. But nope.
Well, this is a little segment that we call Sex Ed with the Intoxicated Crew. So let us know what else you want us to talk about. Bam, bam, bam. We out this motherfucker. Fucking tune in for the next shit. It can't get worse than this.
Oh, it can. It might.
Cheers. 1 1 1 1 1.